where are they at, Martin, in your view? Now, you heard Maddison say there, when he hears from Spurs fans, in the past, they might have meant a bit soft underbelly, bottlers. No longer that. Is that where they're at now? No longer the Spursy Spurs?
Well, I think Tottenham have obviously got off to a terrific start. But I think rush to judgments, all that type of stuff, early in proceedings. But I think that the side is really a reflection of the manager himself. And I watched a lot of him when he was at Celtic. Came in and no one really knew him, got off to a poor start, fought through all of that there, signed some players that players did or certainly weren't known as well too. Everything clicked for him and he kept with it as well too. And the players enjoyed playing for him. That's the main thing. And I think that that's the message that Maddison seems to be getting across. Whether he would have had the same view as Maddison had, having been dispossessed and Jesus blazes over the bar, would have made it 2-0. Might have been a different issue.
Yeah,
but
sure,
I am joking in that sense. He's got off to a great start. And it is not any real fantastic surprise to me so far.
Yeah. I mean, should Postecoglou only be ultimately judged, Simon, as and when he ends Tottenham's trophy drought?
I suppose an element of yes. I mean, there were two things that he needed to arrest. He needed to arrest the decline in the relationship between the supporters, the team, the ownership model, and give them something to feel a little bit better about. And then he needed to make the team play in a certain way. And then, of course, ultimately, the end game is that you have to win something. He himself has turned around and said that there isn't any ceilings to his opportunities, he doesn't believe in them. I mean, I'd said before this game that I felt that Spurs would get something out of this game. I didn't think they'd win. I thought they'd get a draw, and that's precisely what they did. In the same way that, Jesus picked Maddison's pocket, he picked Jorginho's pocket, and up they went and scored against them. Look, Spurs are playing with a slightly more cavalier attitude, a slightly braver attitude, and that's refreshing for the fans. Right now, they're in good nick. They've played the argument's been you haven't played anybody, you've beaten everybody, that ultimately is beneath you. You're going to play Arsenal, you're going to play Liverpool. I didn't think Arsenal were particularly great yesterday, and I certainly don't think Arsenal are one of the best sides in the world. I think, Piers Morgan was on this morning, and whilst I'm not going to go to Piers Morgan for font of football knowledge, he is right about the observation that they need Premier League top strikers to be able to win this league. Nketiah is a decent player. He's a decent mid-table Premier League side player, but if you're going to try and win leagues, you're going to need people that can score 20, 25 goals, and they haven't got them.
Mid-table Premier League player?
I think he's a decent mid-table Premier League player. Arsenal are trying to win the Premier League. Look at the teams that are winning the Premier League. Look at Manchester City. They've got a merchant up top that scores 35 goals a season. Look at Liverpool previously. They've had Salah that can score 30 goals a season. Not necessarily as a centre forward, but notwithstanding it, still contribute 30 goals as a forward. You're not going to see that from Arsenal's front three, whether it's Martinelli, whether it's Jesus, or whether it's Nketiah. He's a decent player. I'm not criticising.
You don't think we're going to see the challenge from Arsenal like we saw last season?
Maybe.
When they led for so long, then get pegged back.
Maybe, but Manchester City have done something very different than they did last season. They've started winning games from the outset, and all of a sudden they've laid their marker straight down. De Bruyne goes out the side, don't miss a beat. Don't miss a beat.
That's true, Martin, isn't it?
Yeah, well, absolutely.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. They don't miss him. But Arsenal miss Declan. I mean, Simon's got a point there. Arsenal in the first half, intensity, control. Declan comes off at half-time for whatever reason. Could be a back problem, who knows, but we'll find out in the fullness of time. Did we witness a £105 million void when Declan no longer took part in the game?
Well, I judging on the second half performance, you would have to go and say yes, absolutely. I mean, Jorginho has been a really fine player. There's no question about that there. But I think he's seen better days. And Declan Rice gives more energy. He gives more. He gives them a better balance in there. He can win the ball. He can actually distribute it. And he is a really, really decent player. So, again, someone comes off. But if Arsenal are going to have intentions of similar season to last year and try and edge it over Manchester City, then someone leaving at half-time should not really be bothering them.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. And this is where I agree with Simon. I don't think that they have the wherewithal. Saka becomes so important to them. He's got to stay fit.
Yeah.
Really stay fit. And I think he's played about 80-odd games in the trot for them, So... that he is their main attacking player.
So, Simon, when it comes to these two clubs, mind the gap, is it as wide as we thought it was?
look, I mean, it was last year and it's a new season and we're 6 games in. And Tottenham have got some feel-good factor about them. They've got some energy behind them. I always worry about, this hit height so quickly of euphoria. I want Tottenham fans to be happy like any football fan because that's the nature of the beast. Football thrives on emotion. Ideally a positive emotion. A lot of the time it can be negative as well. But the bottom line is that Tottenham are in good nick. We will see. They've got Liverpool next week. That's a tough game.
Yeah.
And
then
Liverpool,
we'll know more.
Liverpool are in decent form. But I mean, Tottenham for me have got the right manager in the right time for them with the right outlook. I think he's I think he sits in situ with the owner with the same sort of mindset. We'll see. I can only judge people. I don't know if Martin agrees. You judge people in adversity. You don't judge them when things are going well. Right now, things have gone well. Let's see when someone doesn't get something they want, or some wheels come off, and we'll see what happens then.
I might be totally wrong. I might be totally wrong about this here, but I feel as if Tottenham Hotspur might suffer the same problem as Arsenal in terms of having an out-and-out goal scorer in the side, somebody who's going to score 25 goals. I don't see it in their makeup in the team,
and that could cost them.
Well, whatever you say, Harry Kane's a major loss.
Yeah.
Richarlison came on as a substitute and made a big impact in the game against Sheffield United, but he was back in the bench again. But this is what I think. They've got some really fine footballers. No question about that there. But someone to stick the ball in the net constantly,
that's a good point.
The moment, I'm not sure.
Good point. Darren, the Tottenham fan, the gap is not as big as it was. In Ange, we trust. Thank you, Ange, for bringing football back to Tottenham. Where are you at with that this morning? Mind the gap. Is it as wide as it was? Tottenham making up ground now. You might want to let us know what you think on that one. 03717 223344 810 89. A lot to get through this morning, and we're just the boys to do it.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.